Welcome back, everyone. This is the DomainSherpa Review After Show, where we discuss anything on the minds of our panel, what's going on in the news, recent deals that were done, anything they want. We're going to start off with something that we were discussing right before we taped the original show. Rick, I was asking you about the traffic conference, and Adam, you said, I want to talk about why people need to come to the traffic conference in relation to the portfolios. If people came to the traffic conference, would they have a different perspective on their own portfolios?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, Adam, let's start with you.
I think people would definitely have a different perspective. I haven't talked to Rick about this, but for me, the traffic conferences, it's perceived to be this thing for elite domainers, but it's nothing like that. It's you go there, yeah, you see some friends that you've met because you've gone to many conferences, but the stuff that you learn and the networking and the people you talk to is priceless. So the people that really need the introduction and need to know what domains they should be buying and how to sell domains properly are the ones that need to go. And from what I've seen, all the people whose portfolios have analyzed could certainly benefit from going to that show. And we spoke before the show, and you said you're getting a ton of people submitting portfolios to you. And based on what you've seen and what I've seen so far, I think that these are the people that seem to be trying to be serious about domaining and could really use the opinions. It's basically like having all the panelists at your beck and call for 4 days. I mean, you can't get any better. One of the things that helped me out, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when I first bought DN4, I was in Florida because my dad was in the hospital, and Rick invited me up to his house, and Jared Cohn picked me up, and we went over there to meet him. He knew who I was, and we just created some sort of a bond, and he helped me as I got started. And that's the kind of help that most people need when they get started, or they're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money on foolish purchases. I assure you that whatever it costs you to go to traffic, you're going to make that back and a ton more just by listening and talking to all the people that are there.
So what would you recommend doing for somebody that, has one of the portfolios that we reviewed today? Would you show up with a list of your domain names and just ask people what they think or what domains they would buy instead of those? Or what would you do if you were one of those new people? What would you recommend? What kind of tactics, if you pay your money to go to traffic and you fly out there or drive there and you stay at the hotel?
Well, generally people don't want you to come up to them and say, here's my list. What do you think is good on this? I mean, that's a long list of 5-6 pages. Nobody wants to go through that. I want to sit and have a coffee. I want to talk to somebody. If they have some questions about strategies or have some questions about what type of domains does Adam Vicker like to buy, what's worthwhile, if they want to give me like 5 or 6 or 10, I can go through like we do on the panel and say, okay, I think this is your best domain. You should drop these, concentrate on building this one out, build a real business that gets regular cash. But you definitely want to learn about what they should be buying as opposed to what they think they're buying, because clearly they're not learning enough. A lot of these people that we've had portfolios from are supposedly reading a lot online and doing a lot of work online, but they're not learning enough. Either they're not asking the right questions or they're not reading enough. Mm-hmm. So they need to, listen, I can go and talk to Mr. Berkens, Mr. Rick, I can talk to Paige, I can talk to anybody there, and I'm always going to pick up something new. No matter who you are, Paige can talk to me, he may pick up something good, and Rick and vice versa. We learn from each other. Just simple things like knowing the right tools to use that Paige may use to evaluate. Not everyone's using Estibot. A lot of people have proprietary tools and software and things like that. And the people in this industry are more than willing to share that stuff. But you've got to create relationships with these people. They're not just going to cold call them and say, hey, can I borrow your spreadsheet because it's organized neatly. So the relationships that you make and the ties that you make are worthwhile. And I know everybody that's here is more than willing to give time to anybody that comes to the show, and that is valuable time. In any business you go to, you would want to learn from somebody who's experienced. And I go back to the airplane pilot story. You're not going to go in and try to fly a plane without any lessons. You need to get in there, not think you know everything, be prepared to clean your mind fresh, learn fresh, because you obviously haven't been doing it right all along. Clear your mind, be open to suggestions, and you'll build a better business if you go to the show.
I have a suggestion for traffic. What I think is a lot of people miss the opportunity by not getting there early. Typically, every traffic show in Florida I've been to, I think the cabanas open up on Friday. There's very few people around. I'm around, Rick's around, there's a few people around, but Friday and Saturday, and even early Sunday, the crowd really starts building in Sunday afternoon. And then once the conference kicks off, then it's really sort of hard to have any sort of sit down, have a cocktail, and shoot the crap with anybody kind of time. So that's very hectic, very busy. You know, there's obviously sessions going on and parties at night, and it's a different environment. So still a good environment, but I think a lot of people haven't taken advantage of getting in there early when there is that period of time where we do have time to sit.
I would agree with that, because I look at the first few days as a real vacation, a little relaxing time. I like to sit out by the Ritz by the pool, have some shrimp and a drink, and go in the pool and relax for a bit. So it's a very relaxed day. Actually, Barbara was telling me, because I've got some activities going on Saturday, Barbara was telling me I should probably go in on Friday, so I'm not too tired for Saturday. And I'm bringing my boys, so I'm probably going to go in Friday and just relax by the pool. So if there are people there, I'm certainly open to spending time with whoever wants to spend time with me.
Yeah, and for a number of people, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people have watched your shows, Adam, and they know how approachable you are. But I think back, I've only gone to maybe 3 conferences. I think this is going to be my 4th one. I'm still relatively new to the industry. I remember the very first traffic conference I went to. I didn't know a single person there, and it's intimidating to walk up to people who already know each other, that are in a group chatting about, what's happened since the last time they saw each other in Vegas at traffic, or last year in Florida, and break your way in and have a conversation and when you don't have good names to start with, right?
Well, you just have to realize that you're there, and hopefully your primary goal is to walk out of there and be a better domainer, a better website, a better SEO guy, better internet marketer, and your goal is to find ways to improve your business. It's not for me to go down there and have shrimp with Rick Schwartz and say, oh, wow, I got a picture with Rick and some of the supermodels. I'm going down there with a goal to build my business. And, I mean, I think I met you at the first show, and everybody's goal should be to go down there, and you should probably try to book time with some people you want to spend time with before the show, because that'll get you an advantage. But going down for your first time, I mean, it can be intimidating, but it's like going to a party. You go to the party for a reason, so walk up and introduce yourself and meet people, and just do it. I mean, you're there for you, and be selfish, because it's about you and you learning and you getting time with the right people. So just go in there and don't be shy and step in. You will find if you do that, most people will be very warm with you.
All right, Rick, any other tactical advice that you'd recommend?
Well, for anyone that is coming to the show for the first time, and it is a little intimidating, believe me, between Barbara Howard, myself, and Ray, and a few others, we try to introduce them to a few people to get them started. So I think you'll find that first of all, we have an orientation for first-time comers on the Sunday before the cocktail party, and we really do go out of the way to make sure that they're part of the family, and that's what it is. It's kind of a family, and all I can say is Howard and I, and we wouldn't do this and spend all this time in it, and if we didn't know we were changing people's lives, and we do. People come to us after the show, and they just tell us, "You changed my life," and I mean, there's nothing better than to hear something like that, and it's from the heart, and I know how powerful that is, and I've been exposed to some great stories from some great people that have come to the show over the years. That fought some incredible hardships over the years to get to where they are, and the stories are, every single one that comes to traffic has a great, compelling story. No matter where they came from, every single person there has a compelling, great story, and that's what it is: breaking bread, networking, and sharing those stories. And like Mike said, and Adam said, the couple of days before the show are priceless. I mean, they're just, everyone's kicked back, and maybe not a lot of people, 20, 30, 40 people maybe eventually, but you get to know them, and now you have a basis to start, and it's priceless.
Are you doing the speed networking event again, Rick?
No, we're not going to have the speed networking this year. We've had it for, I think, about the last 10 or 12 shows. Mm-hmm. And it's just time that we're going to do something else with that time, and it's it was more of an opportunity, I think, for a lot of the sponsors to try to get to the domain. It's just we may have it in Las Vegas, but we got to change things up every once in a while. So we're going to use that time a little bit differently this time.
Sounds good. And anybody that decides they want to go, they got at least one person that I'm happy to introduce them to everybody there. And, I think I've got a decent grasp on what everybody's forte is in the industry. So, consider me your non-industry friend, and I'm happy to introduce you around.
Almost like a Sherpa.
Yeah, you have a friend in the Sherpa.
So anybody that says Michael Sigerson, I'm going to get the hell away from you, moocher. You're not getting any of my shrimp. Get lost.
I just want a picture with Rick this year. All right, let's talk about Frank Schilling. Frank Schilling saying .coms are like AM radio. What was there just a vacuum in the audience, Mike, when he said that? Did people start booing or throwing anything on stage?
No, they would probably cheer more.
It would be the opposite at that conference.
Yeah, right. At that conference, they were all new GTLD operators or potential operators and people looking to work with them. So no, that's sort of a good thing. I mean, it was obviously one statement in an hour-long interview. So, being the New York Post kind of guy I am, I sort of try to pick out the juiciest, statement to put up as the title.
Right.
I mean, he didn't say that. But, I think that Frank is better situated than anybody to make a substantial amount of money on the new GTLD space. And, he says he gets about 4.5 million visitors a day from, one of his 300,000, from the total of his 300,000 plus domain names. He could certainly redirect all of them to Uniregistry. He certainly could put up advertising for Uniregistry. Mm-hmm. I mean, 4.5 million people a day is a pretty strong number. He also gets 700 plus inquiries a day from people looking to buy a domain name that he owns. I mean, talk about qualified buyers. So somebody's inquiring about a name that's, $5,000 name or $50,000 name, a $100,000 name. How easy of a sale would it be to flip that guy into a $20 registration of a new GTLD? He also has a staff of 17 salespeople at the moment and growing, who are all domain brokers, and that's what they do every day is they sell domains. So I think he's uniquely positioned. I'm sure he'll have his own retail registrar, since that'll be allowed, where he can really just send these people over and get the names registered for the ones who don't want to buy the premium names.
Yeah,
he sells the premium names for sale. So I mean, if you look at the play, if you look at 50 extensions at 20,000 registrations each, which is really, a tenth of what .tel is doing. .tel is, I think, over 250,000 registrations. Even .travels, I think, in the 100,000 plus registration column. So if you talk about doing, 20,000 registrations on average at $20 per, you could see with 50 strings, you'd have a $20 million a year, operation, annuity, ongoing, and that's assuming that none of them become real successful. That's really not successful at all. They're just mildly successful. So I think he's in good shape.
Yeah. So
clearly he's touting them because he's investing in them. I mean.
Well, I think that's a catch. I see that. I mean, I get that a lot from the comments. It's like he's only bolstering them up and making these statements is because he has an investment in them. But I mean, he has an investment in them. He made this, $60 million investment, because he thought it was going to be successful. So
but I think successful from a TLD perspective, like end users actually want those TLDs, or successful from an operator investment perspective?
Operating from a registry perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Now, is it going to be successful short term like he was with the .xx crap?
Well, he's on the XXX crap. He was an investor of domain. He bought a certain number of domains and played it like a domain investor. So his investment here is from the flip side. So is XXX, from the registry operator side making money? Yeah, they're making money. I mean, they have 100 plus, 106,000 registrations at $50 a year. Plus all of the Sunrise money they took in at the 10-year blocks, 80,000 10-year blocks at $200 a whack. Yeah, the guy's making money.
Did you get any?
The
Did you
people
get
watching
any?
the show need to understand that registry making money and you making money on a domain are two different things.
Two different businesses.
It's great to be affiliated with successful, thriving people. And, you know, if you look at what .co did, they were someone you'd want to be in business with, and their registry has done great, and we've done okay on our .co names, and I'm glad they did what they did because they kind of set the playbook, I think, for a lot of new TLDs, as opposed to some other TLDs that you didn't necessarily want to be affiliated with because of the way, you know, they went about what they were doing. So I think it's important to have a registry operator that brings prestige to the name, but whether or not they're, what's the old thing about your stockbroker's yachts? Whether they have yachts and whether you have yachts, I think, are two different things.
Well, there's 2 points here. One is that Frank is smartly using his name to help market this, and domainers respect Frank, and they may figure that, look, if Frank Schilling is doing it, I should probably put something into it, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the other thing, like Paige says, is that domaining is a lot like gold mining back in the gold mining days, where all of us domainers are the gold miners, and all the guys that got rich were the guys selling the picks and shovels, which are the registrars. Very few gold miners got rich, but a lot of guys selling picks and shovels made a lot of money.
Right. I think Frank's going to bring the most equity to the other registry operators because everything he's laid out that he's going to do is, you know, what I consider fair and best practices, and isn't just let's extract every dime and dollar that somebody might pay. And so I'm glad that he's in the mix with the rest of the group because I think he's going to set the bar on what can be done in terms of some pricing and some rules and some policies where if people say, oh, that just can't be done, you can't be successful doing it, I think, you know, with his success at domain name sales, he's shown, you know, how you can run a business that's good for customers, good for people. And then on his AM quote, you know, I think Frank's time frame is a lot longer than the rest of us. When he talks about the eventuality of what's going to happen, he's not talking about next April, that you should either dump all your comms by then and register all new TLDs. You know, I don't think he's everything he's written to date on his blog and everything has been much more nuanced and long-term and things like that. So I'm not taking it as maybe a lot of people want to say, just get rid of your comms, it's over, it's done. You know, I don't think it's that. I think it's much more longer term.
Yeah, I think in this little talk he gave, you know, he was looking at it, but yeah, definitely more longer term, with maybe a 20-year sort of time frame. You know, I think, you know, nobody knows, so I think, you know, he would say it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years, it could be 50 years. But, you know, I think the revenue that on the business he's building should be fairly immediately successful for him.
So what percentage in 2014, I think I'm going to spend 1% of the money I invest in domain names on new TLDs. That's about how important I think it's going to be for me.
I think there's going to be a lot of new, you know, domainers or domain investors coming into the space, people who are too young in the 90s to buy any, who didn't have any money or just didn't see it, just missed it. So I think there's going to be a whole new, and that's why One-on-One is banging away on these commercials.
Yeah, but all those people had chances with all the other new TLDs and TLDs, and nothing happened to them. They never became millionaires, most of them. So, I mean, the good thing about this is, though, Frank is unintentionally giving more credibility to the GTLDs at other companies as well. So he's bringing an audience to it. But we have to remember that domainers that he's talking to, it's just a small part of the community that actually owns domain names.
Right.
So, I mean,
you know,
that's all he's affecting.
We're in the bubble. We look at domains every day. We talk about domains. We price domains. We talk about what's good, what's not good. Most people have no idea that the GTLDs are coming out. They have no idea that .tel exists or .travel exists.
Oh, and they're still using Hotmail email addresses.
Right.
I mean, and when they have a business, they already have a domain name. They don't even know how to switch it over to at their own domain name. So, and then there's a huge percentage of businesses that we all know don't even have websites yet. So it's going to be quite interesting.
So is it fair to say to all these hundreds of new registries that will be coming out with top-level domains over the next couple of years, if you don't have a marketing plan and a strategy like .co, then you're likely going to go the way of .tel or .mobi?
No, because you're going to get a certain number of registrations, and your product has no cost to you, so you're going to be viable. There's almost can't lose.
So let's put the registry business model to the side, and let's look at the end user business model. Will the end user business model fail unless a registry actually comes out with a marketing plan? Can I see Frank Schilling at Traffic and say, Frank, tell me about your marketing plan for your new top-level domains? And if Frank doesn't tell me anything that sounds anywhere near what I've seen Juan and his team doing at .co, maybe I don't want to invest in it. Does that sound fair or not fair?
I mean, I would definitely say that, when you're investing in a new extension, the operator is just as important as the extension. So I think that is fair to look at who the operator is. And when people ask me, what do you think the top, 5, the most successful 5 strings will be, I always sort of, my answer is I got to see who winds up owning them. So I think, the geos are natural, especially if the cities get behind them. So like NYC has huge potential. One of the speakers, not associated with NYC, actually somebody from Berlin, predicted that they saw 3 million registrations in the first 2 months for .nyc. I think that's pretty optimistic, but and I also think unfortunately it doesn't look like they're going to get out this year when Bloomberg's still in office. Bloomberg is a huge supporter of this .nyc and just this initiative to get internet throughout the city. Very tech-oriented kind of guy. We don't know who the new mayor of New York's going to be. They may not be as thrilled with the .nyc extension. But theoretically, I think a lot of these geos that the cities get behind it, you can start seeing them everywhere.
Yeah, Adam, you think it was a fair statement?
Yeah, I think it was a fair statement. I think they should go after Lori and Wardy pretty quick and get her to brand it for them because she's got some great marketing potential. She knows everybody in the industry. But again, that's just sticking with the industry. We need to keep in mind that domainers are such a small community that spending money to market to them isn't great. But if you own a large registrar like GoDaddy and you add it in the purchase path and you get on GoDaddy's purchase path, you're going to sell a lot more than the average bear. There's no question about it. And that's what GoDaddy did with .co. And actually, I was the one who introduced Lorianne to GoDaddy. So, I mean, it was quite a good thing. And she's a genius. I mean, her and Juan did a great job.
Well, and I think that domain name investors or entrepreneurs are always looking for opportunities. If you can go build a market like .co did in the startup community, and they can do the deals with, angel.com to go from their .com to .co. I'm sorry, did I say angel.com? Angel.co. The whole startup funding group, and they got major startups to switch to .co. And the startup community paid attention, and Entrepreneur Magazine and Inc. Magazine and all the others wrote about it. Then the domain investors are just going to follow along. It's sort of like a tag along. There's value there. People are buying them. I'm going to invest in them.
So here's my quick summary, and then the other guys can add what they want. In general, 99.9% of end users, domainers, whatever, that invest in these things will not do well. But the 0.1% that knows how to think outside the box and has the right connections to get the domains they want or has the right budget to get the brandable domains they want will build something great. That's it.
Well, let me tell you. Yeah, well, first of all, because I don't, I just look at it completely differently. I mean, I just see it. I mean, Frank's going to do well as a registrar and registry. I mean, that's just a given. I'm not worried about that. I only look at it from a domain investor standpoint. So, so here's the deal. So let's talk about the 2 guys that submitted a portfolio today. If they go and they decide to go to the new TLDs and they pick the same garbage, they're going to have the same crap all over again that isn't worth even as much as those are. So the first thing they all need to do, look, I always give my wife a lot of crap because she likes tanzanite, okay? So let's talk about tanzanite. That's in the jewelry business. They have this crap called tanzanite. For the people, it's a nice little stone, and it's not a diamond, and somewhere along the line, they found this marketing ploy to take this garbage stone and sell it for a lot of money by fooling women into believing, oh my God, it's beautiful, and women fall for it, and they buy tanzanite, and it's just garbage, to be honest with you. It's not a diamond, it's not an emerald, it's not a ruby, it's not really a true precious gem. It's some garbage that they had. They say, hey, we can, stick it in some jewelry and make a lot of money. And anyway.
So here's I'll give you my current thinking. After looking at the portfolios, you want to own a domain name that you need and you want. You don't want to own a domain name that needs you or wants you. So if you want to personalize it like Warren Buffett does for Mr. Market, a lot of the names we saw in those portfolios, they need an owner to buy them and to go push them and to go sell them. You want to own something that you're like, I want that, I need that, I have to have that. And the hardest thing as a beginning domain investor is you're going to have to pay up to get it. And you're going to say, well, I don't want to pay up. I want to see what I can get for nothing. And it's hard because you're going to have to sit there and realize that the same domain that you'll pay up for because you're like, I want it, I need it, is what makes it valuable. And I think in the new TLDs, the way I see it right now, and the reason I think we're not going to devote a lot of money toward them, is they need registrars and they need registrants and they need people to do something for them, to help them be established. So when you buy the name, you pay for it, and you get the name, and you get this liability, which says, we hope we deliver what we're promising. And what I like about com.net.org and even the other ones we're buying, LA TV, is I could buy them right now, and they have something right now. Com has something right now, some million, trillion, zillion times that people have said .com. So I feel like I'm buying something. So I may not be right in 10 years, but at least for the next 5 to 7, I just think you stick with what's working.
All right, let's talk about United Internet. I think Andrew over at Domain Name Wire broke the news. I think it was the earliest that I saw that United Internet, who owns, a big European company who owns 1&1, who is doing all the football advertising for the new GTLDs, just acquired the remaining shares of Cedo.com, and I believe is going to take the company private again.
Yep.
That's some big news. That's a no? You don't think it's big news, Paige?
Well, it's been a hard stock to buy because there's been so little of it trading. It's a spinoff of United, and the business inside of it that's growing is their affiliate business, which is really growing and providing all the earnings growth. And unfortunately, Cedo hasn't been. So, in fact, all the money that's in the company, they've actually upstreamed to 1&1. So it's kind of been a pseudo public company, I guess, is what we looked at buying some at different times, and you couldn't really buy any because there were so little shares available. And so it just makes sense that it's back part of 1&1.
So
to me.
You don't think that it was strategic that GoDaddy is making all the acquisitions and they're moving across the user experience, trying to be an end-to-end provider, and so United Internet's trying to do the same thing?
Well, United Internet's like a $6 billion market cap, and Cedo's like a $110 million market cap or something. So, I mean, and you still got to pay for both of them to be public companies. So yeah. The affiliate business has got a lot of growth, so you'd want to bring that in. And I think, I guess I'll be the one to say it. I think they'll divest Cedo to somebody in the next year because it looks like a business that you'd want to, get rid of. So I think we'll see a new owner of that company in the next year. I
don't think so, actually. I think that's just a natural. They acquired, the shares of Cedo that they didn't own, and they've sort of operated the company separately, but as part. They really didn't mesh sort of all of these moving pieces, that the bigger company had, which is 1&1 and United Domains and Internet X, and Cedo's there, but it really was part of the company, but it really was sort of operating as on its own. So I think with the new GTLD space, it makes perfect sense for them to have the registrar channel and then the aftermarket channel. And I think the afternic sale to GoDaddy is by far more interesting than this transaction.
All right. Well, let's talk about GoDaddy for a second. It was reported today on your blog, Mike, that GoDaddy had acquired back in April a company called Ronin App or Ronin App. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. RONINAPP.com. They do invoicing online, and it's really simple, and a lot of people love it. And GoDaddy wanted it as part of their online bookkeeping service that to go with their outright purchase, which tracks income and expenses and helps with taxes. Now they've got a great invoicing application to go within that, and it's already integrated from what I hear. Is that big news, or is that just GoDaddy making another acquisition to fill in a small little vertical that they've had a gap for?
I think if you look at the new commercials and the new ad campaign with Adam, the commercials really aren't about so much about buying your domain or registering your domain, more towards just running your business. Mm-hmm. So I think the model is going to expand from just the domain name registrar to some place you can go, all in one, get a domain name, get a website up and running, get all the tools you need to run a business, including billing and collecting and credit card, grocery accounting, I'm sure. And you can go into business, and so I think the commercials are geared to that, more of a business solution rather than a domain name registrar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the business, Adam, wouldn't you agree, the business of what to do after you buy a domain name kind of dwarfs our industry in size, and those companies there's more companies there that have 1, 2, and 5 and 10 million customers. I think of like Wix, doing as much advertising as one-on-one to start your own website. I think it's great that more people are getting to be content owners, content creators, not just giving their content to Facebook or YouTube or Tumblr, but actually, having their own site. And I think that industry is actually doing a better job of growing than maybe we are.
Yeah.
I think the numbers they said at the show is that they're up to 56 million names under management and over 10 million customers.
Well, they don't make much money off of the names. They make money off of everything else. I mean, the names, we all know they don't make much off a domain sale unless you're selling .xx's and your cost is cheap or something else. But, I mean, that has no effect on me whatsoever, so I don't really care about it.
Yeah. Rick, any thoughts about GoDaddy going end-to-end for new customers?
Well, I just, they see huge expansion coming. I mean, they're all positioning themselves for what's coming, and that's what's going on. And there's going to be huge competition, and I'm loving it. I mean, we're becoming the center of the universe. That's what's happening. I mean, little by little, this space that we're in is becoming the focal point of the universe, and it will become more and more. And I don't see any downside anywhere.
Yeah.
Along our path in the future.
I wish I knew more about branding. I find everything I learn about it's such a powerful concept, and it all focuses around your domain name. It's what's on your business card. It's where you send people to look things up online, and having a great domain name that represents your company is where it all starts, and then you add those services on top of it for the website, for the invoices, for the stickers that go on your car when you drive around town.
It's the lifeline. It's your lifeline of your entire business. It's the most important words out of your entire mouth, because from that one phrase, .com, whatever your name is, .com, they can find everything else they can ever want to know from just a word or two, and that's very, very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And I think it's important on branding to remember that with the .com name, you still keep your left of the name as the same as your company name. So, Mike, you're DomainSherpa, and you can still say, my company's DomainSherpa, I'm DomainSherpa, and it's natural that you be at DomainSherpa.com. Now, when you become Domain.Sherpa, all of a sudden you've got this dot in there that you've just put dot in your brand because you're using your address cumulative to use your brand. You can't trademark what's left of the dot. You can service mark, I guess, the whole thing together, but I still think the ability to not have to put the dot in is just seems natural to me.
Well, but I think that's an old paradigm, Paige. I think you're thinking in today's terms, and 10 years from now, people are going to say my company name is DomainSherpa, and they're going to say, well, what's your address online, or what's your handle?
So why not
Whatever they're
have
gonna
it be
say.
both? So that's it. I mean,
But listen, an 800 number today is still an 800 number, even if you have an 866, an 888, or an 855. Kleenex is still Kleenex, whether it's tissue from Johnson's or Scott or anyone else. It's still Kleenex. I mean, that's what. Listen, my brother and I once opened up a pizza stand on the boardwalk in Provincetown, Massachusetts, at the tip of Cape Cod, and we were trying to decide what should we name it. And we only had X amount of square feet on the sign above, and we wanted people to see it from as far as they could. So you know what? We decided we would become part of a chain. What was the chain? We had one word: pizza. We didn't have to have a goddamn name. We didn't need a name. We just had to let everyone know, as far as they could see, pizza. That was the only thing that was important. So people have to focus on what's important. So whether it's 800, 888, today you're right. It's kind of a status symbol. People don't even have to say the .com after their name because everyone knows it. And that's the beautiful thing. Yeah, and half the people, trillion times a day, are saying .com, and the other people are just saying, go to my website at Rick's blog. I don't have to say .com. They know it's .com. That's the beauty of it. It will take 20 to 40 years to change that. So all I can say to every viewer, add 40 years to your age, and then ask yourself if that's the right time frame when Paige makes a point where you don't have to wait 40 years, you can do it in 40 minutes. I mean, that's the key. Do you want to wait 40 years, or do you want to wait 40 weeks, 40 minutes, 40 hours, 40 months? That's the choice right now.
Rick, in 40 years, I think you and I will be together again.
We all of us are, well, not all of us. Paige will probably still be doing the Gerber baby commercials or E-Trade commercials, whatever he's doing.
Michael?
Yeah, I don't think it's like it doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where something wins and something loses. I mean, even today I was watching TV and I saw a commercial for Marriott, and the hook and URL, in the commercial wasn't Marriott.com, it was travelbrilliantly.com. Now, of course, that goes to Marriott's site, but
they want to track it.
They're spending money marketing, a URL other than Marriott.com. So, do I see a day where BMW, puts out an ad campaign and you'll see billboards that'll be like the drive.bmw? Yeah, I think you'll see that. That doesn't mean they're going to stop using .com, but I mean it's just more brandable activities.
All right, to the .com.
Go ahead, Adam.
They're still going to lead to their main door or their side door. The only thing they're going to be able to do is, okay, it's great to track a campaign. Whatever it is, okay, they use a specific URL, they run an ad on a specific station, and they can get a specific number of how well it worked. So that's what's so good about something like that, and that's why they use it, because of the tracking. And if you look at commercials from big companies, they have no problem using 3 and 4 words in a domain name, because all they care about is something that's memorable and easy to spell, so they can go from their TV to their keyboard and get it right.
Okay, can I play my game now with you guys and Michael?
All right, let's do it. It's not just for me, it's for everybody, right?
It's for everybody, but it'll be quick.
All right.
Thumbs up if you think it's taken. Thumbs up if it's available. Thumbs down if it's taken, okay?
Well, I'm going blind.
All right, you ready? Here we go. The first, I've got about a few of them. You ready? The first one we'll start out with is Cygers.com.
Cygers, so Cygers.com.
Taken.
Cygers. Okay, so the correct answer is available.
I was like this before.
Okay. The next one is Cygernomics.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Cygernomics. Available or taken?
Available.
I say available. I don't know what it means. Does it mean something?
All right, what are the
It's
answers?
like Freakonomics, but it's defined by me, whatever I say it is.
All right, you ready, guys? Thumbs up or down, Paige? Okay, you are all wrong. It's taken.
What?
That's
You
taken.
bought it.
You registered?
That
No, it's taken.
Okay, well, it's owned by Diana Etheridge in Florida.
Diana, why would you do that to me?
So here's another one for you, another play on words. Cygerspace. Taken or available? What's up is taken, down is available, right?
Oh, up is taken?
No, it's the other way around.
Well, you see,
Up is available.
I'm really 2 for 2, not 0 for 0.
No, go ahead. Up is available. Up is available. Cyberspace is actually taken by a guy in Australia.
I know it's taken, and, well, I think it's under Who is Privacy or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because
But Adam knows how to break that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need you to break it and tell me who it is, because somebody wrote into me and they're like, yeah, you need to buy Cyberspace. I'm like, that is a good domain name. So I went to go register it, and it's taken.
Okay, let's go with one more. Cygers.com.
Thought you did that one already.
Wasn't that the first one?
Oh, yeah, I did that one. Sorry.
Well, it should be registered
it's available.
by now.
Let's
Hey,
go with Cygery.
Cygery.
Cygery.com.
I should
Taken
start
or
my own
available?
Cygery.
available.
Let's go available.
I'm going to go available.
It's actually taken by a guy in Germany.
My God, what are people doing with my name?
I have one last one and we're done. Well, you better get this one right. TheCygers.com.
The Cygers.
TheCygers.com. Is there another
all
family
those
named
people that
Cygers?
love the domains.
Anybody with the last name Cyger?
Cygers.com immediately after the show is all I can tell you.
What do you got? Available or taken, Mike?
I'm going to say available.
Hey, can I play both sides?
The correct answer is available.
I think I'm 2 for 2. I didn't
I'm
do a very
playing
good
both
job on my
sides.
own name.
There you go. We're done with that.
Hey, quick thought on GoDaddy, Mike. They're going to put .org on one of their cars this weekend, and I think the existing TLDs have never had to spend money on marketing, and I think when they start trickling out just a little bit of money on marketing, especially where org's a nonprofit, I think it's going to give them a nice boost that they've never had before. So I think that's a big thing for .org.
Yeah, I think VeriSign's going to spend some money on .net, so I think you may see them start spending some money on .com.
Yeah, yep.
All right, let's go to something fun quickly, and then we'll go. What's the first job that you guys had as a kid that you remember strongly? Mike?
Newspaper boy.
Paperboy.
No, skip. We all had Paperboy. Skip the Paperboy. What was the first job outside of Paperboy?
I remember delivering tuxedos.
Tuxedo.
Dairy Whip. I made $1 an hour to make cones in the summer.
There you go. Paige?
Scorekeeper, baseball games.
Wow,
Cool.
that's cool.
Mr. Seiger?
Parked cars, Hollywood Bowl.
Wow.
It's also cool.
Is that where the Flintstones used to play bowl or something?
Hot August night.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's where the
Hot
rich-
August night.
It's where the rich people showed up, and all I had to do was put the Jags and the Mercedes next to the gates that we took down at the end of the show, and they'd slip me an extra $20, and we'd eat In-N-Out Burger, and that was like the best job I ever had.
Yeah. My experience wasn't so good. I worked in a fast food deli, and my two bosses sat around at a tabletop video game playing videos all day, and I carried up bread trays that were taller than I was, up a huge flight of staircases. It was horrible. And my other friend worked down at a clothing store and used to tease me that I was Cinderella. All right, Mike,
that's gonna come back
to
to
you
haunt
in
you,
the
Cinderella.
head office.
There you go.
Cinderella's going to come back to haunt you. Hey, Mike,
Hey.
what are you buying your dog with the proceeds from emancipated.com? New collar, studded collar.
Shrimp on the beach.
Actually building out dogs.net right now.
Oh, you're building out dogs.net.
Yeah, it's coming along.
Is it all going to be women in there? Is it going to be women, or is this... I'm going to get in trouble now. I know that. Can you cut this part out?
I do no editing. And I should say thank you to all the Sherpas for taping late today. It's after hours, all your time. We're coming up on the end of the day. I'm going to be processing these videos all night long, but I appreciate you staying late to accommodate my travel today. So thanks for doing that, Sherpas.
End of the day for you. For us, it's almost bedtime.
It's almost bedtime.
A lot happened again.
All right. My quick shout out to Steve Kaziev. Thanks a lot for the favor you did me today on telling me a name was available. You could have easily gone the other way, and you didn't, so I really appreciate it. Thanks, Steve.
Steve's
Good people in
class
this
act.
business.
Steve's going to be at traffic. Paige, Steve's going to be at traffic.
So's Paige. Don't worry.
Paige can't resist. Are you coming, Paige?
Sell a couple of those 2K names or 1K names, and you'll be going.
I'm trying.
We'll see you there, Paige.
I got you penciled in on the schedule, pal, so don't worry. There's a seat for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're on, Paige. You need to get that ticket, buddy. Let's
All
go.
right.
Free
And
PR
book your
for you.
hotel because they're going up tonight when this video
Yeah, at
airs.
least book your room. Listen,
it.
book your room tonight, and then worry about the rest. You could always cancel it a few days before.
Exactly,
And if
Paige.
anyone has any rooms out there that they're not going to be using, let me know because we need those rooms. Thanks.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Thanks for
buddy.
another great show.
Good night. Thank you.
See
Good
you
night,
all.
everyone.
See you,
Talk to you
Michael.
next week.
Rick.
Bye.
Hey, guys. Bye.